Today we're going to be recording another league with this terrible pile that I made a league a few weeks ago that I recorded. We didn't get to play against many blue decks, so we never got to really test out the full strength of extirpate and Snapcaster Mage. So I have decided I want to give it one more go before I disassemble the deck again. For anybody that's curious, this is me dicking around with trying to figure out how to properly attack the Veil of Summer meta while still playing Ant. And I have decided that the best way to make sure that we win the game is to take all their cards that matter. So all 4 copies of... We want to take all their Veils and their Force of Wills, and then we can just leave them with whatever they've got left over. To facilitate that, against blue control decks, we're boarding in Snapcaster Mages and Extirpates. Depending on the matchup, we may board in Flusterstorms or we may board in Decays. It's a pretty greedy sideboard plan. To make it happen, we have to do things like, sometimes we're going to be cutting empty. We're cutting Petition almost every game. We're probably often going to cut a Tutor and an LED. Some number of Preordains, some number of Cabal Rituals. And possibly even a basic against the decks where we can afford it. So let's get on with this. For anybody who is at all curious as to why you would play this list, my suggestion is you wouldn't, unless you are into doing dumb shit, which apparently I am. The Snap Mulligan, that hand doesn't do anything. This hand is great. I think this makes a bunch of goblins turn 1, which seems good enough. So this is a pretty aggressive play and could lose us the game against anyone who's on a combo deck. But it should have a lot of game against most other matchups in the format. So Tundra means they could theoretically come back from this. They'd need something like a Terminus. What did they do with the Preordain? 2 on the bottom. It's a good sign. We'll hold the Underground Sea to let us rebuild using Brainstorm. I'd be very surprised if they can win from here. Maybe they're on Breach. I guess that's the other deck that could play a Tundra. Okay, so this looks like Breach. Oh, okay, he's going to chant. So I don't quite know how to attack the Breach matchup. We made a couple of decisions in our deck building here to do things like... Oh, cool. Well, we took game 1. That's nice. We made a couple of decisions in our deck building that makes us particularly soft to Breach. All right. So we are actually going to board out large portions of our combo and filtering, I think, to try and facilitate slower, grindier, controllier matchup. Alright, we're going to keep this. They'll have kept some silencers in, which will be relevant because they're going to be priced into using it on our turn rather than their own a lot of the time. I don't think they want to be fighting us. I don't think they're ever going to be concerned about fighting us just because of how Breach works. Alright, we got a land, we got a cantrip, we got some mana. We're going to keep this. It's not amazing, but so be it. So they're going to be priced into using silencers on our turn, which means our extirpates and our Snapcaster mages will be live on their turn. I guess we lead on a C here. Piff's a good card, but doesn't really do anything for us just yet. We need a few more pieces before Piff actually does anything. Well, Snapcaster Mage Thoughtseize seems nice. Okay. So this is probably going to be one of the most confusing turns for our opponent ever. I doubt they've ever had to fight Snapcaster Mage out of Ant before. Now, I think we want to buy you here. And this will give us access to all the colours that we need. So, do we take Brainstorm or do we take Lotus Petal? Brainstorm, I guess. Maybe, oh no, okay. Breach. I guess that's game over. So I guess maybe we should have taken the petal. Okay. Now, opponent is going to be wondering what the fuck is going on, but they still don't know about extirpates. So I think we're going to continue like this. Alright, we'll keep this, we'll bottom Tendrils of Agony. And we might just start aggressively going after... whatever we can from his graveyard, I think, at this point. Would really... oh, there we go. Cantrip, right on time. So we'd kind of really like another black land. Is he going to silence us? Just thinking about it. Either that or my internet connection to shit itself. Okay, chance is fine. He might just start chanting to Time Walk us now. He's probably not going to stress about the Dark Ritual here. How much mana does he have? 1, 2... He hasn't played a land for turn, has he? So what does this let him do from here? Oh, come on. Alright, so I guess he had Breach, Brain Freeze, so he can still Breach, Petal... I think we're dead. We really needed to have a extra black source like a turn or two earlier. Breach, Petal, exile 3 cards. Yep, we're dead. I wonder if we meant to play a crypt or a couple of crypts in this meta. Maybe play the crypts in place of like probably Flusterstorm. Because I think our extirpates are doing what we normally want from Flusterstorm in this case. Okay, we're going to keep this. And I guess lead on a Thoughtseize? Okay, we're definitely leading on Thoughtseize. I guess Enlightened Tutor. So it's another Breach deck. Scoldington, that's fine. Maybe it should have been Silence. Anyway, I think we want something like any mana source off the top, and we're just going to jam. Tundra, one unknown. So we're brainstorming here because this is going to build threshold and we're quite likely to find like any other mana source. Alright, so do we top the tutor? Yeah, we top the tutor. So this should give us like close to infinite mana. 7. Like we could just grab empty the Warrens here. And leave our opponent with basically nothing. Fuck it, I think we just try for the deterministic kill. If this is a silence, we're in trouble, but we were anyway. I'm not quite sure why you'd brain freeze here. We're not actually aiming to draw another card. I guess you get to see the rest of my library, but... Okay, this is interesting now because now we need to Infernal Tutor for a Lion's Eye Diamond. To flashback past in flames. To cast Tendrils of Agony. Alright, we're just going to have the same game plan. Maybe we want Flusterstorms over Abrupt Decays. We're going to have the same board plan where we slow right down. And just try and take all their shit. Yeah, I think I like this hand. So we're probably going to like... Fluster the first silence, Snap Fluster the second. We might end up just cycling the Veil. Although I guess it's a good protection spell. But it doesn't really deal with the silence problem. That will. Chooses to not shuffle. So, this is a bit of a tricky hand because we have a bunch of interactive cards, but we need to pick the right time to use them. Now let's find out if he wants to fight over a silence here. If he's going to fight over a silence... Okay. I think we're now going to brainstorm. So I guess we take a Bayou here? Let's take a Bayou. Oh, we're drawing a lot of tutors. We do not want this many tutors. Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay. So, let's let him untap. Does he want to cast a silence here? Do you reckon we'll tag anything else from it? He might still hit a breach, like that is possible. So for anybody who hasn't, I'm sure everybody's cottoned on if they're watching this, but basically, he's just put a breach on top of his library. We have now successfully shuffled that away. And we've left him with not a great deal. He's got a preordain in hand. I hate that. Extirpate doesn't hold the information for their hand. All right, we need another land. Mist is perfect. So I guess I'll tag another. We guess we'll grab another C for now. And I guess I'm going to bin an Infernal Tutor. So what's he going to do? I guess he's going to breach here. So what are we taking? Okay, so I think we can veil now and draw a card. And then if we decide, we can snap extirpate using Dark Ritual and Underground Sea. So I guess Delta will grab either a Trop or a Volk. An opponent is playing everyone's favourite game of Line Up the Flusterstorm. And now we've let him use a little bit of his clock, we are going to Veil. Now hopefully what's going to happen is opponent is going to have to, in a moment, cast Underworld Breach, sack LED, cast Brain Freeze, and that's going to let us snap back our Veil, snap back our Extirpate and take his Brain Freeze, effectively removing his possibility for Breach. Force Pitch Force. Okay, so I think we need to Veil into exactly Extirpate here. Let's see what his alternate win con is. Because he can't Brain Freeze us now. I wonder if this convinces him to not go off this turn. Oh no. Okay. I sense something fun happening. Okay, and now he's going to pop LED. So he's going to brain freeze himself. Or would he like to move to a next phase? So he has to brain freeze himself here, right? Alright, so he's got a grinding station. Which is technically a win. So I wonder, so he can activate grinding station 20 something times. So how many cards has he got left in his graveyard? 27. So he can activate grinding station 10 times, plus himself a few times. Can't quite activate it 10 times. It's more like 9 times. And brain freeze himself a lot. So do we have to... Do we just snap Veil, or do we snap Extirpate? I guess we snap Veil. No, we snap... Yeah, we snap Veil. Because Veil can draw us another Extirpate. And I guess we do it now. Grinding Station's 2 mana, so he can cast Grinding Station. I don't know why he's playing Teferi now. So how many cards has he got left in the yard? So he's going to have 30. Does he have a Thassa's Oracle, I wonder? Oh, he's got Lightning Bolt, okay. So he's got 3 ways to win the game. How many Lightning Bolts can he cast? Can he cast 6? 6, 5, 6 is a 30. Yes, he can cast 6 Lightning Bolts. Alright, we're just going to F6 and let him run his clock down. Okay, now we're going to submit the same list. I think we're fine with this. It looks like they're always holding chance for the combo turn, so I don't see a need for decay. I don't think anything else is relevant here. We will run it back, and we will just try and take all the shit again. Maybe we need to be more aggressive with extirpate, so I'm not sure. If we take all his cantrips, I wonder if he winds up just muddling along. I mean, sure, why not? Extirpate, Flusterstorm, Lotus Petals, what's not to love? I wonder... So the one thing that we can do is we're not far off being able to go off here. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4... so we got 5, 6 mana. We need to get to 7... for Ad Nauseam. We're going to put the Fear of God in and with a bunch of fast mana. So what we're going to do is consider extirpating in his end step if there's anything we can extirpate, just to see if the way's clear. So let's find out what it gets. Underworld Breach. Let's just do this now. He's only got Silence. Fuck. I really should start snapshotting that. I think I kind of like all these cards. And we're going to fight over this now, because this might turn off his Silence. And should give us free reign to try and kill him. Force, silence, brain freeze, bolt. Sure. Mentor is fine. So I guess we need to rip like a discard spell exactly here, right? Although that won't do it because we also need to beat the silence. I think he's got a bit too much, unfortunately, at this point. Bolt, whatever, we'll concede. Alright, well, at least we're getting some slightly more interesting matchups than our last league. I'd rather not play against Breach all day again, or all day. I think 2 is enough. I don't know. I have heard that there's a lot of Breach out there at the moment. Alright, so I guess we will Thought Seize with the aim of going off next turn. I think we have an Ad Nauseam live if we can clear the way. Oh. What's this? This is a... Should we take a lightning bolt? Wow, I don't think we have any sideboard for this. Lotus Petal? Ruby Medallion. Okay. Well, rather than dick about, black. Let's get an Ad Nauseam. And we're probably going to go fairly deep on this. Ritual LED, so that's 6 mana to 1 mana to 3 mana. So we need some more rituals. Okay, so now we have 9 mana. Gets us to 4 mana. Gets us to 6. And we can take another hit. Alright, that'll do it. So this is guaranteed deterministic. I don't need to count. I think we had it before with the second LED. I think the 2 LEDs fuel the past in flames, but this means we don't even have to count. Red. Infernal Tutor. Tendrils of Agony. And that should be clean. There we go, conceded the game. Okay. What do we like here? So, Veil is bad. Empty the Warrens is bad. Swamp is probably not amazing here. They might board into Blood Moons, but we're not going to worry about that. Maybe like 2 Flusterstorms, 2 Extirpates. Pretend like they're just an opposing Storm deck. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I think we're fine with this. We can... Oh, this is a tough one. Alright, we're going to keep this on the basis of Thoughtseize Extirpate. It's probably wrong. Leyline of the Void. Look, double Leyline of the Void is completely fine. That is not a scary card. In the way that they seem to think it is. Oh, okay, so this is even better. So I guess we're going to lead on an Underground Sea into a Duress. I suppose we don't go after their mana, we need to go after their action, but I don't really know how the deck's built. It's very hard for me to... Okay, I guess we'll put back like a land and maybe a Cabal Ritual. And I think we can take another turn for now just to cantrip. So they have Mountain and 2 Unknowns in hand. 2 unknowns in hand. And they're having to think about something. So it's time to Thoughtseize. They're going to Lightning Bolt. So act on impulse. She's got a Rite of Flame and nothing else. I think Rite of Impulse might be an okay card to extirpate. So what else has he got? He's got a Past in Flames, Thrill of Possibility. What's Ignite the Future do? Flashback 8 mana, sure. So all the top 3 cards of your library. Burning Wishes bonus rounds. Okay. So it's got a Ruby Medallion and a Rite of Flame. So we're going to wait until next turn where we can draw the LED. And then we're going to preordain into hopefully an Infernal Tutor. Light the Future, 7 mana. It's just going to have 1 floating. You may play those cards. What's he exiling? Burning Wish, bonus round, Lotus Petal. So he doesn't really have mana. The mana's his bottleneck here. So Rite of Flame gives him 3 mana now. And what does Ignite the Future do? Oh, okay. So we can now Ignite the Future with 1 mana floating. Ah, okay. This is kind of cool. So I guess I should have extirpated the card with Flashback, but I didn't read. So Manamorphose will now draw 3 cards? Or 4? Okay. I think we can concede here. Alright. I think we're still fine with this. Wonder if we want more extirpates. Yeah, this is fine. It's a hand that has a reasonable chance of going off next turn. Our opponent... So I guess we need to go off by turn 3. I don't know how quick our opponent's deck is. I guess it depends on if they have a medallion in hand in their opening hand. And I guess they're betting on... let's take the duress. It would have been nice to have that in our opener, but that's fine. Okay, good idea. Play the LED. All right. What has he actually got? What gets him started here? Is he going to bolt us? Kind of like for him to bolt us. Cool. I mean, like, Manamorphose is his draw spell. So I think if we draw any cantrip or any tutor, we're looking pretty live here. But we do need to hit one of those. And I think, while thinning is truly minimal, the fact that we have 2 more fetch lands in hand means it's worthwhile. Seething Song... What's he got? Thrill of Possibility, you got it. Discard Maya, draw 2 cards. So he's got LED, Past in Flames, Unknown. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so yeah, Past in Flames, Unknown left in hand. Burning Wish. I think we might be dead. So I wonder what he gets here. So it needs to be either a really big spell, mana, or... Because at the moment, if he flashes back Past in Flames, his bottleneck will be mana. Rite of Flame will generate 2 mana in this loop. So he can go up to 8, down to 3, up to 4. Ignite the Future. Sure. What are you exiling? Oh, that's the exile there. Okay. Fuck, we forgot to fetch. Okay, so our opponent doesn't have a great deal. They have Act on Impulse, but... Oh wait, they don't. Okay, Ruby Medallion. Alright, let's actually thin now. This is a little frustrating. We have a lot of live draws. I think like... What do we have? 11 cantrips, 5 tutors. Even Past in Flames I'd consider live at this point. So Manamorphose to generate 2 mana, draw a card. Seething Song to generate a fuck ton of mana, draw a card. We're probably in trouble. Right, so it's got a lot of mana now. So does Act on Impulse? So Act on Impulse is now 1 red and draws 3 cards. Burning Wish. Whatever, I think we can actually concede here. I don't see this working out for us. So where was our next draw? Fucking hell. Alright, shit happens. We're 1 card behind. It's a little frustrating, but what do you do? Alright, it'd be nice to win 2 matches this league. So I guess like in the last match we had the option to bottom a Duress. And bottoming a Duress is like... I feel like Duress is... I guess it proved to be fairly anemic in the matchup, didn't it? We kind of just want to go fast. Like, it's not a matchup I'm terribly familiar with, and I kind of figured discard would be reasonably strong. But I think they just have so much action that the discard spells are a little bit anemic unless you can, like, tag a medallion. So, yeah, maybe it was correct to just bottom the Duress and basically just try to draw into more cantrips to sculpt their hand and kill them like that, given they can't actually interact. Sure, we'll keep this. So we got a cantrip, we got some action. We got some protection. And of course we have mana. Oh, let's take that stop out. No, let's... I think we need a trop here. So I guess they're going to take our brainstorm. Okay. This game's going well. Although now, we can wait a few more turns. So what do we need? We need to draw up to 8 cards. Sure, therapy is absolutely fine. I'm guessing, given what's happened so far, it's possible our opponent is on the Bug Doomsday list. In which case, they're basically playing a control deck that at a certain point is just going to tap out and kill us. Although they're not doing anything at the moment. Nor are we. Oh, no, I'll spell bomb. Don't think we're particularly worried about that. Ponder's great. So I guess we probably want like a fetch land. So we have another tutor coming up, so I think we can afford to wait. We also have Empty the Warrens in the deck. All right, let's see what they've got. Engineered explosives, I guess. So they're on... Is this like Grixis control? So like it's possible we lose to the Pyromancer there with this line. But like we need to do something. And him using the spell bomb there instead of tagging the tendrils actually does a fair bit of good for us in that it leaves us able to rebuild. Cool, okay. So whiffed on a land and that's basically a good game. Alright, we're just going to use the same board plan. Given what we've seen, we haven't seen any wastelands yet, so I'm not going to play around a wasteland that I don't know exists. I'm not boarding any removal in just yet, which I guess means we actually cut preordains and we keep the tutors. Maybe we want 2 decays for... No, that's fine. We're just going to win the old-fashioned way. Which is going to be by basically just getting a really big tutor chain to play through the spell bomb. Alright, well, we have Extirpates, Ponder, Snapcaster Mage, and an Infernal Tutor and a Veil of Summer. Sure. I guess Snapcaster Mage just got worse. But that's okay. I guess we'll take the Ponders. And he might take the Veil here. But I think we're going to take his Thought Seizers. Alright, so he's got a Cabal, Therapy, and a Pyromancer. But he might be priced into using the Therapy on either the Snapcaster Mage or the Extirpate. So what do we have? Cabal, Therapy, Young Pyromancer. Fuck, Extirpate's annoying sometimes. Brainstorm, Ponder. Gotcha. And he currently needs a land. So I guess he goes Pyromancer, names Infernal... Pyromancer, cast Therapy, names Infernal Tutor, flashes it back, names Snapcaster Mage, leaves us with nothing. So he's still got a ponder, I believe. Oh, okay, that's nice. We're just going to play this out now. He might have a lightning bolt or something, but that's fine. That's a lightning bolt that he's not directing at us. We'll take the one from the elemental. Sure. So I think we're going to lose this game just because of the Pyromancer therapy lock. Sure, Wasteland's fine. So I guess next match we're leaving our basics in and fetching them a little more aggressively. So I don't want the Dark Ritual, I do want the Bayou. Actually, I think we can't beat Wasteland from here. I think I forgot to take his Wastelands as well, so that was pretty silly. Surprised he didn't target me with the bolt. He's generating enough tokens. No, we can concede here. Okay. So we're going to run this sideboard back with one exception. We need to find a space for a swamp. And we'll go again. So we're still not playing the empty. I will bet money that he has a... still has the stupid engineered explosives. And just like overall is... not going to be particularly soft to a fast empty. Like we saw right then where he just managed to get huge amounts of tokens online, so... Alright, we'll keep this. And I guess we'll fetch... we can fetch a swamp. We're not in a rush. Let's hope he goes to like 5? Or decides to try and find a ley line, which is basically a multi 5. Guess we'll take the Thoughtseize. And EE. So EE and Null Rod is an interesting combination. Pyromancer is fine. So what I want to do now is extirpate. End step brainstorm to conserve mana. Oh, this is going to be nice. Okay, so we actually have a clear run at whatever the fuck we want to do, which means we are going to probably crack an LED. You know what, we should have drawn that LED. So we punted slightly. We're going to lose 1 life to this. Hopefully it doesn't make too much of a difference. Now, the problem that we do have here is our deck is actually full of bad cards at the moment. So, can we cantrip a bunch? We haven't made a land drop for turn, right? Okay, so now we need to so I punted twice this turn, which is a shame. Now, I like the LED. Okay, cool, that'll do it. All right, well, we got 1 match. Yay, good for us. Let's see if we can get one last one. Alright, fingers crossed, hopefully these guys decide to sign up with us soon. Let's get some music going for me. Alright, we will definitely take the small wins that we can get. This hand's fantastic. However, with this hand, we are just playing land go. We're not going to play around nonsense like Stifle. Alright, we're playing against, hopefully, Miracles. Okay, so I guess now we're not going to fetch a basic into an Astrolabe. I don't expect to see Wasteland. I could get blown out by this. This is like definitely a thing that could happen. Okay, this is basically the absolute nuts. What do we not want? We don't want like pedal land. Yeah, so it's definitely the 4-color Snow Miracles list. Let's just take Snapcaster Mage, because that card's busted as fuck. And we'll just aim to churn through our own busted cards. 7, Infernal Tutors 8. Next tutor is going to be 9, then Tendrils will be 10. Is our opponent conceding yet? There we go, okay. Alright, so, fun time. We like Flusterstorms, we like Extirpates, we like Snapcaster Mages. So we want to fit 9 cards in. Swamp, Tutor, 2 Rituals, 1 LED, 2 Preordains, and we'll be greedy as fuck. Alright, let's do it. So we're not really playing like a Storm combo deck anymore, are we? We're just playing nonsense that tries to assemble a Storm win eventually. I wonder if that means I need to slow my game plan right down and just wait till I have a bunch of Extirpates. So I don't think I want to fire off the Thoughtseize till I have an Extirpate. So I think I want to find an Extirpate before I Thoughtseize. And I think I haven't been accepting those play patterns well enough. Not that I've really had much of a chance to try and learn them. Okay, with this hand we can kind of just keep making land drops. So our actual game plan here, I think, is natural tendrils. So does our opponent have another land? They do, okay. Alright, here we go. Let's Thoughtseize now. Alright, so let's maybe forego our natural tendrils plan. And we're going to extirpate them. Okay, Force of Negation, Fluster. So he's got a fair bit of nonsense here. So we're leading on our weaker cantrip just to try and get the Reb out of his hand. I do like Past in Flames here. But we do still need a discard spell. Fairy Time Raveler is fine. So I guess we're fetching a Volk this turn, aren't we? Now, our opponent might have... So he probably shouldn't use a force effect here. That's really greedy. Alright, I'm really hoping to find... like a Snapcaster Mage might actually be nice here. So I really kind of need a discard spell, I think. Or like an extirpate or a Snapcaster Mage to try and clear the way. Like, eventually our opponent is theoretically able to card out card advantage us. But okay, now there's actually a clock on the board. So we're going to take 6 damage next turn. Which is going to put us to 9, and we're going to lose the next turn. I assume he's going to just Astrolabe. Or like turn the Astrolabes into whatever fucking nonsense. So what we're aiming to do at the moment is, I think, if we can't draw extirpates or Snapcaster Mages, oh, okay, we have another turn or two. Okay. We don't care about surgical extraction on Brainstorm. He's probably just doing this for information at this point. And is probably wondering what the fuck our deck list is. Okay, now he's realised he actually has to clock us. Given how much interaction we play, we really have not drawn much. Which has been a little frustrating. Opponent plays land up, clean up, discard. Pyroblast, sure. So we have a fairly obscene amount of mana at the moment. We just got to hope that we have... So opponent knows our hand. And they kind of have to do something here. Snap. I'm not sure if Cabal Ritual is the correct one to do here. And I'm wondering if our opponent has played this properly. Like, I have no idea what cards they have in hand at the moment. They must have forces, like, surely. Alright, so they play more Force of Wills. Okay, so there's that Flusterstorm. Okay, so this is my last chance. I need to ponder into something good. Alright, and that's game. Okay, so we'll run this back. This is fine. Alright, we're going to be really greedy and hope like hell we draw something along the way. But the first thing I think we want to do is get a Thoughtseize fired off. So what do we reckon here? Like, the Astrolabe is their mana fixing. Alright, let's take the Ponder. It's a bit of an odd one. We're taking the Ponder at the moment because Ponder is going to mana fix them regardless, and realistically they mostly want to be playing in blue, maybe hold like one fetch for a green source. They should also be playing a Trop. This gives us, so I think taking the Ponder gives us the best chance of mana screwing them. Alright, this is a bit aggressive, but And at some point fairly soon, I think we're going to snap Thoughtseize. Alright, we missed. What was the next card down? I can't remember. I don't think we're in a rush. He's going to Codal. Yeah, I guess maybe we brainstorm now. Okay, that's fine. So Astrolabe's fine. I think we're going to try. We're definitely going to get the Snapcaster down this turn if we can. Whoops, forgot it had flying. Okay. So our clock's now a bit faster than theirs. Do we want to fight over this? I don't think we do. So I think we want to... Could we go like... Okay, we need to draw that next turn, I think. So I think we're going to lead on like Dark Ritual into Duress, Flusterstorm back up next turn. And we're going to use this to try and kill him. So if they let the first one go, they'll probably let the second go, right? All right, fingers crossed, boys. Let's see what this terrible setup can get us. Force of negation. All right, GG's. We took it. All right, I'll stop there. That was a very silly league. Once again, do not recommend playing this list. To be fair, our worst matchup appeared to be Breach. I will hopefully be back with some proper content sometime in the future.